Good morning. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, you are here on the Leadership Huddle, where my partners and I bring to you unique leadership perspectives for you, leaders who live everyday lives and deal with everyday problems. And there's a particular everyday problem that we want to tackle today, and it is this. Do you know that you and I, human beings on the whole, lose more energy fighting what's here and now, like fighting reality, than we ever lose from the actual work in front of us? So you're a business owner, or you're a parent, or you work in a corporation, you're a professional or business owner. The project is behind. Somebody's going to come in late today or even not show up. Your client may shift direction, or the week you're planning, even though you're just starting the week, it's Monday, gets heavy already. So instead of meeting what is, though, you and I resist. Like, this employee shouldn't be late. The meeting should have started on time. Why am I dealing with this again? And that resistance, folks, is what drains you and me. It drains us, not the situation itself. All of that drains clarity, it drains presence, it drains my capacity and my ability, your ability to lead. So fighting what's here and now, fighting reality, cuts off from gratitude. And that's today's topic, right? Redefining gratitude in such a way that it powers your leadership. Losing gratitude cuts me off from power, not soft power, but the kind of power that brings calm, clarity, emotional integrity, and steady execution. So today we're going to recreate. I'm inviting you to recreate and reinvent gratitude from a different world. Not from a list of things you're grateful for, but as a state of real power, real presence, and real self-expression. Uh, what if gratitude itself is a leadership technology, one that helps you stop resisting reality so you can actually lead reality? So here's the context. When you hear the word gratitude, you probably go where all of us go. I'm grateful when things go well, and I'm frustrated when they don't. I'm centered on the good days, like when I wake up on the right side of the bed, and I'm tense on the rest. That's emotional dependency, my friend. It's not the kind of place where you can be that brings performance, because you cannot lead with consistency if your peace, if your ability to be grateful depends on the outcomes, especially outcomes that you and I can't control. So gratitude is none of those tenses. Gratitude is not a reaction. Gratitude is a source of leadership energy. What if it's that way? So let's take a look. We're going to take a look at 3 blind spots and 3 shifts to turn gratitude into power. So here's the first blind spot. Now, raise your hand, whether I can see you or not. You may be listening from another country, but raise your hand virtually if you feel grateful when things are good. If you only feel grateful when life cooperates. In that sense, can you begin to look that your peace depends on things you can't control? Now, where does your energy spike when things go right, or crash when things don't? Take a look at that, because that's the blind spot. That I am grateful when things go right. And somehow in my head, if I'm not grateful, I'm thinking that the other shoe's going to drop, and that my absence of gratitude, the way I define it, will have things go wrong next. So the first blind spot is that gratitude is connected to good things happening. Now, here's a second blind spot, one that most of us miss. It's that I use gratitude, you use gratitude as a way to soften the truth, like a truth I don't want to face. You know, when life happens and you don't like it, you might say, let me be grateful so I don't have to deal with what's not working. Let me be grateful so I don't have to take responsibility that the way life is now is the way I've made it to be. I made it up. But when we bypass that kind of reality, we weaken the integrity of the system, and the whole system collapses. So think of it this way. Where do you use gratitude to avoid the conversation that would restore your own power, your own agency? That's the second blind spot. The third blind spot is that gratitude often separates us instead of connecting us. You may have heard this. And by the way, I'm not knocking on anyone. I'm just opening a door so we can begin to look at gratitude in a different way as leaders, as business owners. Has somebody ever said to you when you say, hey, how are you doing? And they go, I'm blessed and highly favored. Now, that's a beautiful sentiment. And I'm not saying don't say it, but I want you to look behind it to see the blind spot. Often when I use phrases like that, what I'm saying is that I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. Others are not. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored because I behaved. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored because I'm toting the line that says when I'm grateful, good things will happen to me. So I want you to look for a moment. Where has your gratitude created for yourself and for others distance rather than connection? So I'll say the three blind spots as a whole, so you can begin to just be with them. The first is that I use gratitude. I say I'm thankful only when good things happen. And when bad things happen, I say I'm thankful because I'm afraid that if I'm not grateful, bad things will continue to happen. That's a blind spot, a way of using gratitude that leaves me disempowered. The second blind spot is I use gratitude to avoid being responsible myself. And the third, last but not least, is that I use gratitude to separate myself from my own responsibility and separate myself from others. So let's take a look at three shifts that I promise you, when you exercise them, your leadership will shift. When that employee doesn't show up, when your vendors don't deliver on time, when the project is overrunning its costs, when the project is late, all of that. Here's the first shift. Gratitude begins when I am at peace. It's been the case that gratitude only shows up for me. It only shows up for me to be grateful when things are going well, right? So gratitude begins when I'm at peace with the way things are and with the way things aren't. Now, this isn't resignation, folks. This is the foundation of emotional leadership. This is the first act of creation as a leader. I am grateful, not because things went well. I am grateful because I generated for myself stopping fighting reality. I stop leaking the energy that takes, and I become effective in being there. So now, when you are resisting something that is already here, it takes a lot of energy. So here's the practice inside of the shift. Say quietly, I'm at peace with what is and with what's not. Employee shows up late, employee doesn't show up at all, someone quits, my client cancels a contract, whatever it is, I'm at peace because I say I'm at peace, and I'm at peace with what is and what is not. That's the first shift. The second shift is this, that gratitude isn't something that happens to me because something good happened. It's really a gift I give to myself. Gratitude is a gift. I'm healthy, I'm at peace. I'm sick, I'm at peace. Today cooperates, I'm at peace. And if it doesn't, I'm still at peace because I am choosing peace. I'm choosing joy. So put yourself right there in the seat of someone running your company, running your business. When things are going well, you're in flow, right? When things are not going well, you're going crazy. What if it was the other way around? That gratitude isn't something that's a function of what's happening outside of you. That gratitude is a function of something you generate, something you bring to the party, not like a reaction to good things happening or bad things not happening, but gratitude as a way of being that you bring to the party, connected to something that's really way bigger than you. Life is happening anyway, isn't it? What if you didn't fight it? The project is going the way it is, and I'm not saying you're resigned about it. What I'm saying is that when you put all of your energy into pushing against what's not working, it robs you of the power of gratitude. The power of gratitude is simple. It's anchored in this. I am responsible for the way I speak to myself. So where are you waiting for life to behave before you yourself can be centered? This shift is monumental. You can be grateful as a matter of choice. Choose gratitude before the outcome, not after. Gratitude can be like surrender. This is the third shift. Gratitude is surrender and self-expression, not escape. Not surrender like I'm giving up, but surrender as an opening. Opening to life. Opening to something way bigger than myself. Clarity, intuition, compassion, creativity, and presence, all of that comes from there. When I'm practicing being grateful as a way to approach life and surrender to what is and accept what is and accept what's not, I emerge as a leader that is now a space of clearing inside of which people feel safe, people feel seen, people are inspired. My presence gives others permission to rise. I can use gratitude to be the architect, not the fighter. So where are you forcing something that actually needs openness? Now, here's something you can practice. Offer one clean, coming from nothing acknowledgement today. No angle, no transaction, just the truth. Just go up to someone and acknowledge them for the contribution that they are, not because you're grateful that they're doing a great job, not because you're hopeful that they continue to do a great job, but given the space that you are, you're coming from a space where you're saying, I'm honoring your presence and I am grateful for your presence. So Gratitude isn't a list. Gratitude is an energy source. When you stop fighting reality and start leading from peace instead of pressure, your leadership becomes clear, steady, more decisive, more trustworthy, more human, more effective. That, my friend, is integrity. Gratitude doesn't make you soft. It makes you available. You're available to yourself, you're available to people, and the future you're building, you're available for that as well. So I want to hear from a couple of you. When it comes to being grateful, where do you see yourself landing on the spectrum? Are you grateful when things go right? Do you struggle when things don't go well? How do you now see, what do you see possible in terms of being grateful for your business, for your employees, for your teammates? I'll open it up for questions, comments, and the conversation is yours. Shudeth, Virtue, anything on your end?
All right. Well, I'm just grateful to just come on here every Monday and be on the call anyway. So
Thank you, Virtue. You know, I'll
yeah.
tell you a little story. Um, when Christmas comes or when Thanksgiving comes, I was born in Haiti and raised in Haiti, and I waited for Christmas. And every Christmas morning, I'd go under the tree or look under my pillow. And when there was something there, I was instantly happy for it. And then something happens the way it happens for most human beings. I would look at the gifts that my brothers received, and I'd compare my gift to their gift. And in some way, one of two things usually happen. I look at my gift and I conclude that my gift is bigger, better, prettier. And I'm instantly happy and grateful that my gift is bigger, better. Now, in a lot of ways, gratitude for leaders lives that way, that I can only be grateful, I can only be satisfied for the way my business is running when in comparison to other businesses or in comparison to some standard or ideal that I hold, that my business is doing great. So here's my gift, right? And I look at my brother's gift and I conclude that my brother's gift is bigger, better, shinier than mine. And almost immediately, there's this tinge of sadness that's right there. I'm sad. I can no longer be grateful because my gift, by comparison, by my own conclusion, isn't as good as my brother's gift. Now, in leadership, in life, in business, we do this unconsciously. And that's where the three blind spots come in and the three shifts come in. So imagine you are in your business and your employees aren't doing exactly what you want them to do. You can shut off gratitude by looking at what's wrong and working really hard to fix it. That's the energy drain. Or you can simply claim your peace because that's your choice, really. Gratitude isn't something that happens after the world tells you you can't have it. Gratitude is something that you bring to the party. So when my employees, when your employees, when life, when your business isn't going quite the way you want it to, it's not a signal or sign for you to go work hard to fix it. It's not a signal or sign that you have been bad and therefore not anymore blessed and favored. No, it is simply a sign that you yourself are the one who create the space where gratitude lives. And you can bring that to the party anytime, anywhere, any place, with anyone, without the outside world needing to cooperate for you to do that. So this redefinition of gratitude is critical, and it doesn't happen just once. It is like a practice. I am steadily, continually being in life and in my business, redefining gratitude such that I can tap into it as a source of power for my leadership. One, there's no such thing as being grateful for what happened. There's no such thing as being grateful because good things are happening to me. That's a blind spot that would put me in a world where life happens to me, my business happens to me, and I'm always on the other side reacting, fixing something so I can get to be grateful again. That's not what we're talking about. So we are not the victims of the world. We are not the victims of what happened. It can be in such a way that when you wake up this morning, that you claim that choice, you make those shifts. So I'll run through the 3 shifts again and remind you. The first shift is that gratitude begins when I'm at peace. It's not a function of what's happening outside. It's a function of my own agency, my own declaration, me saying, I'm at peace. I'm at peace because I choose to. Employee doesn't show up. The world's not cooperating. I'm at peace either way. So now I'm able to focus and concentrate and look at what I want to accomplish as opposed to focusing on fixing what's not working. I'm at peace. That's the first shift. Your peace, your joy, your gratitude is not a function of anything happening outside of you. It's a function of a gift you give to yourself. And that's the second shift. Gratitude is a gift. I give myself the peace that generates gratitude because it doesn't happen the other way. It's not like I'm grateful, therefore I'm peaceful. No, it's I'm peaceful and joyful. And I have the capacity to be grateful for life just the way it is, just the way it's not. That's the second shift. And the final shift is this. The world, gratitude is an act of surrender and an access to your full self-expression. The world is the way it is. It is a function of an intelligence that's way beyond you, way beyond me. And when I deal and function in a world where gratitude is a function of something transactional, where I'm grateful if life is good, I'm not when life is not so good, then I shut down my access to the very source of what creates for me and for you. So gratitude as a self-expression is the space where I open up to that which is bigger than me, bigger than you. And I give it the permission to generate peace and generate joy. And from that space, folks, I can be clear. I can connect to intuition. I can connect to compassion. And I can create. And I can be present. I can be here. So to be grateful is an act of leading. To be grateful is to be that my employee, my business is the way it is because I have a role to play in that. I made them. I created that. And I get to shift and create something new. So gratitude is not a list of things you're grateful for. Gratitude may not be you waking up and giving thanks for all the things that are good in your life, or maybe all the things that aren't good in your life. Gratitude, maybe, is the shift that you create where you yourself is at peace with the world, your life, your business, your employees, your family, just the way they are and just the way they're not. That has integrity, doesn't it? Because life is the way it is anyway. And there's no amount of me fretting, no amount of me pushing on it that's going to have it change right now. And this is not fatalistic. This is not a sign of resignation. It's none of that. It is really your access to power. Gratitude doesn't make you soft. It makes you available. And that's the way you were meant to lead. So as you step into your week this week, this is what Mondays are dedicated to, that you wake up as an everyday leader dealing with everyday problems, and you come to the Leadership Huddle to get a new perspective on one thing. Today, we offered you a new perspective on leading with gratitude as your access to power. So in today's conversation, if something opened up for you, I want you to share this episode. I want you to go back and listen to it again. Not because what I was saying was great, but because you are digging and grabbing for yourself a new approach to leading, an approach to leading that says, I'm peaceful because I say I am. And therefore, I can be grateful for things just the way they are, just the way they're not. And given that, I have access to immense power, the kind of power where I can be the one leading the ship, as opposed to being the one who only leads the ship when things are good. So join us every Monday here for that kind of unique perspective on leadership, to deal with everyday problems, because who we are together are everyday leaders dealing with everyday problems. So, folks, I'll end with our 8 tenets. First, love. Don't love because you're grateful for what they did for you. No, just love. That's the nature of leading. Rest. Eat mostly plant-based. Take care of yourself. Laugh out loud. Stress less. Move your body. And last but not least, check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Thank you.